Okay, so I guess our big observation today that I'm noticing from the audience is that there's people here who are more actively engaged in learning how to do marketing best rather than I got too sloppily drunk last night. Are those your two choices? Or you did, some of you, how many did both? Showed up early and sloppily drunk. That's good. Oh, that makes you so proud. The funniest joke I ever heard, can I tell this? The funniest joke I ever heard was the president of Anheuser-Busch, one of the Bush children. And he made a joke. He came into a 4A's conference. That's important to the story. And he said, listen, he goes, it's great to be here at the 4A's. And he goes, who one less A, you would all be changing tires on the interstate. Funny, right? He said, and you know where I'm going, two less A's, and well, you'd be with the same people you are now. That good? That's very funny, isn't it? I don't know. I thought that was hilarious. I thought it was particularly hilarious that the head of a big brand like that would choose to talk about his product in that way in front of a bunch of marketers. Listen, gang, I actually don't have anything planned, but I do have a gift, okay? And that gift is that, as you can see, Steve, you can go ahead and throw it up there. Great, thank you. This is my email and my phone number. What I was going to do in the limited 3-4 minutes that I have is I was going to tell you some of what got talked about in a CMO conference yesterday that MMA was running with obviously 65 CMOs, and some of the conversations they had and some of what MMA is doing as a nonprofit trade association. I don't have anything to sell. I'm a nonprofit trying to make marketing better. My objective is to raise the stature and gravitas of CMOs. It's part of what I spoke about when I opened yesterday. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you some of that is, and that because you are so great to have been here this early on what is the last day of Possible, if you would like me to schedule time with you to explain some of these concepts, and they'll leave the email and the phone number so you can judge later if it's worth your while, but I will get on the phone and explain some of it to you for the betterment of your marketing, if that would be interesting to you. That's my offer. It's a gift. I'm a big believer that when speakers come on stage, you should bring a gift. That's mine to you who have come early. Now, if there had been 1,000 of you, I may have been a little reticent. The good news is that there's a limited number of you. So a couple of the conversations we had yesterday were around the dynamics of targeting and segmentation. And I mentioned some of this in my talk when I opened yesterday, that we actually fundamentally believe that all targeting segmentation has been done wrong to date. That the concept of trying to match consumers to future marketing based on past behavior is, in some cases, incredibly flawed. The concept of using broad reach marketing is horrifically destructive. It is ruining. It's the reason I was going to say it yesterday in my talk, and I took it out because I had limited time. I think it's the reason CMOs get fired, honestly. Now, that's a more complicated question, and there's more to that dynamic that goes on around that. But there's a bunch of dynamics in that we're crushing value in the way that we're targeting. We think we're doing the right thing. We think that our analytics are good, but we're fundamentally wrong. And so what I expressed yesterday, that it needs to be based on neuroscience techniques, which is just a whole twist in that conversation. So it's called the Movable Mills Growth Framework, and I would be happy to express it to you. And in fact, depending on the size of your company and the type of marketing you do, we may even invite you to join us in experiments. That's what I do. We come up with radical new thinking that no marketer has maybe ever had, or that they've had but they haven't been able to test and prove out, and we test and prove it out. We form consortiums of marketers to work together. So if you're interested in that, please reach out to me, and probably better an email because I can connect you to my team. If you're interested in, we also have a thesis. One of the conversations that came up, it was the thesis we put forward, is that because of AI, there is one thesis, a theory, I would say, hypothesis, right, to stick with the science thing, that all ads will be created on the fly. They will be personalized to consumers. And they will be, and I'm an ex-agency media guy, so sorry, and they will all be placed by machines. They'll be limited to no human intervention. Now, I'm not here to have that debate of, is that true or not true? We'll find out in the future, but I think it's a highly likely possibility. And the MMA is actually building an infrastructure to do that, and we're testing along that. We have found a technique within machine learning that dramatically accomplishes that. It's called Consortium for AI Personalization. If you're interested in that, we just presented a case study yesterday from a major telecom brand, CMO, that is plus 270% when we personalize in kind of honestly the dumb way we're doing now, but we can see what that vision looks like, okay? We also have, and I'll give you one more. This is for large-scale marketing orgs. We have been working with a team of professors over the last 10 years to really figure out, well, I'll tell you where we are now. We can now tell you what changes in the org will increase sales and what changes in the marketing org structure would detract from sales. That's a blow-your-mind concept. No part of an organization has ever done that before, but we figured that out and have been going through a series of experiments. I mean, we're working on it for 10 years, but really in particular the last 4 or 5 years to really test some of those theses. So, if the one more offer to you, because they're going to have me get off stage here, the one more offer. If you have a radical new idea, if you think it's crazy and maybe a little insane, if you think it bucks all the trends that marketers thought were true to improve our business, call me, we might like to test it. And we bring a consortium of marketers in order to do that. Because we're on a quest, one more personal pitch. Marketing is all I ever wanted to do. It may be sad to some of you that that's my life, but that is what it is. It really is. I don't know, I watched Bewitched too much as a child, I can't really tell you. But it really is what I've always wanted. I love this business. I love the people in the business. I love what I get to do and the people I get to work with. I'm so fortunate in that regard. But I do think we can be better, and that's the quest of the MMA. Reach out to me if you want to join us in that quest. Have a great show, everybody. Take care.